good, beautiful, just beautiful, and they've turned it round in a trice. Anthony Gorgeous Gordon.
Inviting it on. We've already seen we're throwing points away. Liverpool, we blew it. Milan, we blew it. Chelsea in the cup, we blew it. We're part of the bus.
The Belgian has bounced off the bench and as bright as a button, as if he'd never been away. Stoke City's equaliser.
Well, I think we've just got to continue with the same vein from today, really. I think there's not a lot wrong with our performances. We're just not.
Hello everybody, welcome to The Last Word. First up is the vlog, and then we'll move over to The Last Word a little bit later on. Team news has already come out. Let's just stick it straight on screen for you straight away. There's only one change, which is Joe Linton comes out because he's injured for 6 weeks, which is a big blow. So Lewis Miley comes in and replaces him. It's the same side effectively then, except from that one change that beat Sunderland so comprehensively last weekend. But Newcastle are of course up for a difficult task tonight. Manchester City, who welcome back Kevin Bruyne, he's on the bench, and Calvin Phillips is also on the bench as well, alleged Newcastle United target. But I'm on my way into St James's Park now. It's starting to get really dark. Let's get in there. Howie.
Thank you very much, Lee. So as you've just heard there, Lewis Miley is back in to the starting lineup as Newcastle's injury crisis does not get any better with Joe Linton out for 6 weeks. The two Derby though are bouncing after a morale boosting Derby win against the arch rival Sunderland away from home last weekend, but Pep Guardiola's side are back and they are in Premier League action. Now Newcastle have beaten Manchester City earlier this season, so it will give the lads a lot more optimism heading into this evening's game. Pep Guardiola does have Kevin De Bruyne sitting on the bench. Let's get inside St James's Park and feel some of the atmosphere.
Welcome one and all, the thrill and the chill of a winter's evening in England's far northeast. Newcastle United always passionately supported, but down on their luck and in need of Premier League uplift. Manchester City with points to make up in pursuit they intend of an historic fourth straight Premier League title. It's nervy, it's noisy, it's potentially hugely consequential. No flag, it's Isak, and it's 1-0 Newcastle, and there is a flag, and there is a flag. From the magic Bernardo Silva, that is a joy.
It all started initially from that controversial decision. Gordon still recovering from that challenge, very narrow. First time he's not been alongside Kyle Walker. He has so much time, Kyle Walker. It's a really decent ball into an area slightly behind Bernardo Silva. But that doesn't matter when you've got that sort of quality, awareness, technical ability. He makes it look so simple.
Slung into the path here of Isak. Gordon supports him. It's Isak! That's a gem of a finish! What a smashing goal! And the contest is alive.
That challenge there was right on the line of being a foul. And then the play here, the awareness from Guimaraes, the quality of that pass is exceptional. It looks like Walker uses his pace to get back, recover, but Isak's control of the situation is wonderful. First touch, just slows Walker down, steps inside, uses the run from Gordon, which is a selfless run.
Anthony Gordon, beautiful, just beautiful, and they've turned it round in a trice. Anthony Gorgeous Gordon, and the champions are bemused.
Counter-attacks, 2 fabulous goals, loads of space. Gordon, Kyle Walker's tracking back, he's just trying to work the situation out. Again, he's comfortable showing him down the line, but he doesn't get close enough at all. For a player of Walker's quality, that's complacent. It's half an effort, and the form Gordon's in, he doesn't need much of a sight of goal. And again, it's rifled past Ortega in the City goal, the same side as Isak, a tighter angle, but an equally good finish. Fantastic football by Newcastle.
Side, he's clear of Diaz, not clear of Ortega. And Alvarez! Beaten away by Dubravka, hoisted away by Miley. Doku, Diaz, Alvarez has blasted it high. There's no one quite like him. The Belgian has bounced off the bench, and as bright as a button, as if he'd never been away, stroked City's equaliser.
Picked up that position in the 10. Look at Rodri's pass into him here. Picks up the ball. He's looking for him. There's the movement. He takes out 3 players with that pass, Rodri.
Oh, that's so neat! That's so telling! Sumptuous from the young man, and worthy of Manic City celebration.
10 minutes of fantastic football, and this to finish it off. Kevin De Bruyne again, his influence. Spoke about the pass from Guimaraes in the first half. That's even better.
A magnificent match, a magnificent win for the magnificent champions, Manchester City. You suspected, you always suspected they would know how, even in the darkest moments of the day, because they had De Bruyne to throw on, and De Bruyne thrust his magic in front of every Geordie eye. He scored one, Oscar Bobb danced into the other, and from 1-2 down, City won it, Rebecca, by 3-2.
So there you have it, an absolute crushing blow for Newcastle United. After going in front, they couldn't hold on, and substitution Kevin De Bruyne made all of the difference, changed the game, and unfortunately Newcastle have came away with another 0 points and thrown away another lead. As the fans clap off the players and the players clap off the fans, we'll head over now just outside the ground where Sam, Johnny and Lee are going to be talking about the game, and there's some disagreements in this.
United 2, Manchester City 3. Unfortunately, I don't want to say it again. I'm here with Lee. I'm here with Sam. You might even see Sam's son in the bottom of your picture, Charlie, as well. Charlie. Are you going to give a little wave? Good lad. Lee, the team was expected just the one change, Miley in for Joe Linton. No surprises.
Nah, it's a bit of shame about Joe Linton because it's a broken record, Johnny. Someone comes in, someone comes out. It's every week. Yeah, Miley coming out. I didn't think much of Miley tonight, but it's a big ask for all the young lad to compete against Rodri and Silva and what have you. But one change, but the bench was really weak, full of goalkeepers and defenders, and obviously Eddie Howe doesn't trust them because you've seen it. He brought on Lewis Hall in the 80-odd minute. So what can he do?
What can you do?
We've got no money. We have no money apparently.
We've got the richest owners. We just don't have the money to use it. But that's another story. Manchester City, we know, Sam. They've got so many unbelievable players, and just to paint a picture of it, Jack Grealish, £100 million, didn't even get on the pitch today, which just tells you how the depth of the squad they've got at this moment in time. But it was Newcastle that came out the traps in the first minute. Get played through by Alexander Isak, lays on a play for Sean Longstaff and makes it 1-0. But the Lions put his flag up eventually, and Edison gets injured, and Manchester City have to make a substitution. Great start, but didn't count, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would have wanted a fast-paced start, get into him straight away, and that's certainly what we did. the lino was just an absolute. I mean, I know that it's the new offside rule. You got to let play continue, but if it was that obvious, just freaking put your flag up, because it was a long time before that passage of play ended, culminating with the ball in the back of the net. So frustrating, but it wasn't to our detriment. We rallied well, but got sucker punched in the end. Can I just say as well how lovely it is to be back at a game? Someone who, we don't get special treatment with tickets, so I'm at the mercy of the ballot just like everyone else. Still haven't got a ticket through the ballot. Thankfully Carl didn't want his ticket today, so I stepped in. But lovely to be back here. It's just absolute gutting how the game is finished.
Yeah, Ortega came on for Edison and he put the Manchester City in trouble. His short pass or pressure from Isak gave Gordon a great chance, and Newcastle couldn't finish their dinner at that point, and that was a big opportunity in the grand scheme of things early on, and you're thinking, well, how many chances are we going to miss? Because against Manchester City, you're not going to get many and you need to take the most of them.
Trouble, goalkeeper. Your goalkeeper's come in not expecting to play. He's probably having an easy afternoon for an hour or two on the bench just sitting there, but obviously he's been brought in with the Edison injury, and we should have capitalised because we didn't, as you say, we didn't get many chances. But can we just go with that straight goal? Because that shouldn't have been a goal.
We will in a second. I just want to quickly mention is that after that, it seemed that Manchester City calmed down and they kind of had a lot of possession, which was a bit like the second half, but they had a good 20-minute spell and they eventually got their goal from it. Walker's in loads of space, Dan Burn out of position, but again it just stretched the whole team. His cross, fantastic finish, and Bernardo Silva, Cruyff-esque if you like, back heel into the bottom corner. But I think you're mentioning more about Anthony Gordon's foul. Is that what you alluding to?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be shown on the TV replays because it was a good 30 seconds before. Gordon's got the ball, he's on the counter-attack, he runs past Diaz. Diaz just steps across him, Johnny. How is that a free kick to them? How is that? Because he's bursting away and Diaz is coming across him like that. That should have been a free kick to us, never mind a goal.
Yeah, it was given as a throw, but again, the point stands.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah. But the point stands. Was it a foul, and should Newcastle have had a free kick?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I don't think we were alerted in the stadium whether or not it was checked by VAR or whether the game had moved too far on for it to be.
Ball was out of play. Ball's out of play, so it's restarted. That's it.
Yeah, but when the foul, when Diaz steps across, it's in play.
No, but the ball goes out. The referee doesn't give the foul, so as it's been brought back into play, the game's restarted. I agree with both. It's a foul, but I don't know. Like I say, I'm just saying in terms of that, it's a fantastic finish.
You cannot deny it, and De Bruyne has this as well. But it's a great little flick, and it's not the first time Dubravka again probably comes out with a high score again because he's tipped one at the bar shortly.
Yeah, well, it's a mistake from Kieran Trippier and Bernardo Silva, who I thought had a good game up to that point as well. His volley, well saved by Dubravka, could have been two.
Oh, unreal save. Absolutely unreal save, Dubravka, wasn't it? He was superb today. It's just a shame he's conceded free because he doesn't deserve it whatsoever.
No, certainly not. But Sam, Newcastle rallied, and what a pass from Bruno Guimaraes. Newcastle managed to find a little bit of space for him.
Can I put in? Before that pass, though, come on, talk about him.
Who?
Fabian Schär.
Yeah, I know he has his part, but I'm just talking.
Yeah, massive part,
No,
Johnny,
he did, but it's the.
And also, because I've got a love for Fabian Schär. This is the love in because the banner was there for him, and it's nice to see he got the acknowledgement because he doesn't get as much as Botman and Trippier and Bruno and whatever. He's steady Eddie, he's calm, he's 8 out of 10 every week, and that was brilliant to see. A little tear in my eye. He made that goal. Bruno
made the goal.
It was a wonderful goal.
Yeah, it was
a wonderful goal. Absolutely unreal.
You could talk about Schär, you could talk about Bruno, but talk about Alexander Isak.
He's just finesse, quality, Henry-esque. He's just, whoa, we're lucky to have this guy. I've told you from the start, from the moment we signed him, this guy is the real deal. He just continues to impress, and it's just a shame he's not given so much service. It's a shame that Wilson isn't fit, so they can't be spurring each other on. But yeah, what a goal, what a response to going 1-0 down unjustly. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Even better response to make it 2-1.
Is that goal of the season for us?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of many more, but
that is just it's blinded, and you just it's all. Oh.
It's a great finish, but if you want to watch that same sort of goal again, Anthony Gordon pretty much does exactly the same thing. No chance for Ortega, cuts in from the left to his right. Unbelievable finish, and Newcastle go 2-1 up.
Do you know what? I didn't expect that finish, because we see him cut in quite a lot, and they're always quite low drills, aren't they? And that was, the goals are within a few minutes of each other. Yeah. It's a great goal, the way he cuts in. I thought, no, he's not going to score here, and he hits it and it goes top corner. Unbelievable finish, and Newcastle have turned the game around, changed it, and we're 2-1 up from literally 5 minutes ago. And it's a great feeling to beat. Obviously, we've beaten Man City, we've beaten Man United and Paris and all these teams this season, but it was just a feel-good factor because we had it last week against Sunderland. How we carried on to this game and carry that on into the next one, because we all knew that this fixture was difficult. But to be brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
It was almost like a basketball game towards that goal in half-time. Man City and Newcastle had their moments. Phil Foden was finding pockets of spaces. Alvarez had a couple of chances.
Ben Botman's tackle on Alan Saint-Maximin, absolutely fantastic as he was about to pull the trigger. Saint-Maximin, fantastic. I just wanted to get that tackle in there because he was fantastic as well. The lads give everything today. Like, we didn't deserve to lose. Yes, City are an immense quality team, and we were defending like beavers, as Cammy would say, in the second half. But the first half we finished so strongly, and we were well worth a 2-1 lead at half time.
We certainly were. And look, Isak has another chance where he's through. A lovely ball from Miley. I disagree with you. I thought Miley was okay today. I think you've got to remember who he was up against, but that was a big moment. And again, we talk about those little fine margins of moments, and you've got to put them away. It's on his right foot. You kind of expect him, but it was a comfortable save from Ortega. But Sam's quite right. At half time, I don't think you could really argue that Newcastle didn't deserve to be 2-1 up. But the second half was just attack v defence. Newcastle didn't really have many moments at all. Alexander Isak potentially could have had a shot on target if Longstaff lets the ball go past them. But again, there wasn't really much that we had. Anthony Gordon had a shot that was deflected wide. It was pressure after pressure from Manchester City. Julian Alvarez missed it as an absolute sittily. But the man that changed the whole game, really, if we're being honest, is Kevin De Bruyne, who hasn't played since the first game of the season where they played Burnley away. And since then, it's just been Manchester City missing something. That's what they're missing. And he talk about his goal.
Yeah, I think he played in the FA Cup game though as well, didn't he, off the bench? But it's a great finish. But the thing is, if you give him that much space and you give him 10-15 yards in front of you on the edge of the box, he's that good. He just passes it in the net. It's just a side foot in the back of the net from 20 yards, and it's just fair play. It's a great finish, but how it closed him down. But at that point, freshen it up.
With who?
Why not? Why not put Richie on them? We're all knackered. Look at the pressing. The pressing had stopped. We had said, right, because that many times, and I know it's Man City, but I'm going to play bad cop today, because you're in front. To even sit back and invite it on. I understand it's Man City, but you've got Matt Ritchie who can run around. He'll do that for you. Longstaff stopped running by that stage. Gordon was fucked. He was replaced. Miley was knackered. Replace it. Freshen it up. We didn't do it, so you're just inviting it on. We've already seen we're throwing points away. Liverpool, we blew it. Milan, we blew it. Chelsea in the cup, we blew it. We're part of the bus, and I understand there's injuries. I get that. I understand that. But look at where we are now. Look what we can produce. That's frustrating us.
But Sam, what are Newcastle meant to do? What is Eddie Howe meant to do?
The only realistic change was the one he made. Yeah. It could have been done 10, 15 minutes earlier, possibly, but Hall did okay when he came on. But look, even if the injury situation is that bad that we haven't even got a Murphy to bring on who can do a job, it's
about Alex Murphy. What are you on about?
Well, yeah, Alex Murphy. I actually quite like Alex Murphy as well. Right. He's a very good prospect for the future, but. It's so bleak, that bench today. Even if Livramento was on there, you could have stuck him on the wing instead of Almiron for the last 10. But he's a poorly little sausage. So
just at that time though, can you not think? It doesn't matter what the quality of the bench is. Fresh, you need legs.
But who though?
Matt Ritchie. I know he's not going to win with the game, but Miley was knackered. Longstaff was knackered. Gordon was knackered. Put Ritchie to run around. That would have stopped them. It wouldn't have stopped Manchester City having 90% of the ball for most of the time. I'm nitpicking because I wanted to say more, or go 5 at the back or something like that. But when you invite the pressure on against the likes of all the teams that I've mentioned, even Chelsea are ahead of us now. and you're inviting it on. All the games that we should have got something from, we haven't.
But even if you go 5 at the back, you basically go, well, Man City, you can have the much as more of the ball you like, so you can't really win. Man City made it 2-2 to Bruyne. It's a great finish. Again, the only thing I would say about that goal, which I don't think either of these two have, Foden had his moments in the first half. De Bruyne had this moment in that second half where the gap is too big between the midfield and defence with one pass, and he has space, and it's a great finish, as Lee mentions. But that is what the top teams will do. They will find pockets of space, and that is when they're the most dangerous. 2-2, could Newcastle see it out? 70 minutes ticks by, 75, 80, 85. Get to the 90th minute, only 3 minutes of injury time, and Kevin De Bruyne plays a lovely ball. Kieran Trippier, Sam, is it his fault, or is it just too good of a ball and Oscar Bobb just finishes it from close range and Manchester City take all 3 points? Do you admire the quality, or do you look at Trippier, unfortunately?
Look, my view of it wasn't great because front row of the complete opposite end of the stadium. All I can really comment on was the emotion of just absolute despair, and you can't argue with the effort and work rate that the 11/12 with Hall coming on, the commitment and endeavour and effort they showed, and it was just not what they deserved whatsoever. Tired legs can forge mistakes. We've seen that a lot this season, especially in the dying minutes of certain games. It's just gutting, absolutely gutting, because they've put in everything and they have come away with absolutely zip to show for it, and that's football. But
deserved at least a point today, in my opinion, just for the defending in total for that second half. But it did finish Newcastle United 2, Manchester City 3. This is what Eddie Howe had to say after that late goal.
Yeah, difficult second half. I thought Staff, we were a real threat in the game. I thought it was end to end. I was really pleased with our attitude and how we approached the game. Second half was, as I say, more difficult, and the end of the game is really painful. Yeah, we had chances in the game. I mean, first half, maybe a bit of a slow start, but we came into the match, we scored the 2 goals. We could have potentially scored more. Limited chances in the second half, a couple of counter-attacks that ended in opportunities for us. But yeah, the quality told in the end. I thought the substitution of De Bruyne, obviously world-class player. He's scored one, he's assisted one, and he's made the difference, really. Well, I think we've just got to continue with the same vein from today, really. I think there's not a lot wrong with our performances. We're just not putting it together for the whole 90 minutes. So I think you could see today, we were a top team in moments and in phases of the game. But to win games, you need to do it for the whole game. And we just weren't able physically to do that today.
And we are back. Of course, Eddie Howe was absolutely proud of his team. They gave absolutely everything. But again, Lee, the worrying thing is, it's another defeat. I know, obviously, it was fantastic last week in the FA Cup, and that was a huge game for obvious reasons. However, Liverpool, defeat. Nottingham Forest, defeat. Luton, defeat. Chelsea in the Cup, defeat. We need to break this defeat pattern against quality opposition. Sunderland aren't quality opposition. These are quality opposition, and it's Fulham in the FA Cup next, but Aston Villa's the next Premier League game. It doesn't get any easier.
And is anybody due back? I think you said Murphy was probably the nearest one. Apart from that, you've got
Wilson potentially, but not. But they were saying the end of the month. But I don't know. Does that mean he's back for Villa? Who knows?
I think, unfortunately, you've got to play the sides for the next 2 games.
Well,
there's not much you can do.
We can't.
Unless you put Lascelles in for the cup game.
We can't, because I've just remembered, and I think I'm right in saying, I think Bruno's suspended. I think he's got a 2-game suspension with that yellow card today.
Has he got 15 already?
10.
10.
I think he's got 10. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments.
I thought that passed after Boxing Day.
That was for 5.
That was for 5. I think I'm sure he got a 9th yellow card against Sunderland, and I'm sure today was his 10th. But tell me in the comments if I'm wrong.
2 away. I'm not, because the last week was meant, Johnny.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not, because I expected Newcastle to get. What I'm frustrated at is just the manner of how we keep losing games. I understand, and there will be people on my side. There'll be people on your sides as well.
I agree with you. I agree with you to an extent. I think that has to be looked at long term. I do think you've got to look back and go, well, what are we doing that isn't working, because we're not getting over the line.
The shit-osery. When Gordon got subbed, he went off the other side and walked round. No. You take your time, pal, and you walk a long way across the pitch. The shit-osery's gone, and it needs to come back. Why wasn't Cher going down? Why Cher always goes down injured? He didn't do it once today.
I think we both agree on the same thing, but just with different reasons. I just think, in terms of what we had, obviously we can argue with that, but in terms of the long-term side of things, you're quite right. It's too many defeats late on.
Because he's done so well in the first 2 years, he has time. If this is a different manager, I don't think he will with this run. This run's awful. What's it now? It's something like, is it 9 out of 13 or 9 out of 4? It's something like, I don't know what it is. Yeah. But I don't care what the performance is on Saturday, just win Saturday. Because I actually think, and I'll say it now, and I'll probably, I don't know, maybe contradict myself later in the season, I think Fulham is a bigger game than Villa.
If you offer me one win out of those two, and I don't want to lose to Aston Villa by any stretch of the imagination, but I think the FA Cup's the only thing that we can realistically go for. Sam, do you agree, disagree? What do you think?
Yeah, the FA Cup's a kind of pathway to save our season, I suppose. Top four's gone, I think we'd all agree, and has been for some time, and the FA Cup's the only real substantial thing left to aim for. It's a winnable tie at Fulham. We've got a good record there in recent years.
3 games away from Wembley. I know it sounds stupid because it's the 4th round and we've only won 1 game. But you beat Fulham, it's a 5th round, and you never know. But
we're not booking hotels.
We're not booking hotels yet, certainly not. But it is realistic to think that Newcastle need to probably play their best team for that, whatever players they've got left.
Yeah, we're down to 1 game a week again now, aren't we? So yeah, they will play their best team. So
certainly. Couple of last little things. Transfers. Eddie Howe and Darren Neal spoke through the week about Newcastle have no money to spend. We are down to the bare bones. We can't do anything because of financial fair play. We're going to have to sell Isak, Bruyne or Botman to fund transfers in the window. We're asking for a loan. We're debating a loan fee for Calvin Phillips at the minute by the sound of it, and we can't seem to get. Yeah, exactly. We can't seem to be. Can't even seem to be getting that one done at the minute. What did you make of the comments this week in terms of the financial side of things? Do Newcastle just have to be even more clever, because we don't want to sell Isak, we don't want to sell Bruno. Can we sell other players that can give us some money to spend? Yeah,
I think it's been blown out of proportion, and also the financial results as well, because it doesn't include Champions League, the Seller, the Adidas, the corporate, the price tickets going up as well. So it doesn't include all of that. Next year will be better. But in terms of that, we might be restricted. Look, you only got to look at Everton. You only got to look at like Chelsea, Man City under investigation. So they're playing by the book, and I'd rather my club be safe than having a 10-point penalty next season. So if that means that Calvin Phillips comes in, luckily, great for the end of the season, because Tonali's back in August. So there's your filler. But crying out for a right winger, and I don't think it's going to be this window, unfortunately. I think that'll come in the summer.
Just last thing, just here's the Premier League table, by the way. Newcastle are 10th in the Premier League table. Chelsea beat Fulham this afternoon, 1-0. Burnley 1, Luton 1 was Friday night. There's a couple of games tomorrow. Mid-table. We're not really been mid-table, but we probably would have taken it about 4 or 5 years ago.
It's congested though, isn't it? In mid-table, it's congested. Like, Europe is still achievable, whether that's 6th or 7th for Conference League, whatever. It's still within our grasp. There's a lot of football to be played. There's a lot of players to come back. Sooner rather than later, hopefully. I'd love to know the state of Harvey Barnes' toe, because that just seems to have taken an absolute age. I don't know what's going on.
It's gone mouldy.
Another one will grow.
In all seriousness, is it a worry that your head of physio or head of medical department had to leave? We've had so many injuries, and when we look at it, Botman's injury should have been assessed a lot better.
Scary.
Because he was playing, 2 games?
Scary. Yeah. That is scary. We've got away with that in the end. That could have been a season ender for Botman, with an unidentified ACL injury. My word, what is going on? I don't know the ins and outs, but something's got to change, because if you keep doing the same thing, then nothing's going to change.
Something has to change. But I'll tell you what, they've got a 2-week break, Newcastle United. It's Fulham in the FA Cup. Leon, though, will definitely be there. I'm probably going to be there, but TBC on that because of the kick-off time. ITV, hang your head in shame. 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. Absolute joke of a decision, by the way. Last thing, Lee, women's team play Manchester United in the FA Cup. The greatest and the best of luck to Becky Langley and her side as they make the trip down to Salford to take on Manchester Reds. Of course, they're not the favourites, but what an occasion for Becky Langley's side. A great test. We love the magic of the FA Cup, don't we?
Yeah, the biggest cup game in history. And Becky Langley's on course to have Newcastle United's highest ever league finish on record as well since 1989, when the league when they first formed. So, going to be a great day out. We're going to bring you loads of different stuff. We're on the gantry, which is a new first for me, Joe and Dale. So, The press passes came through only just yesterday, so happy days. And go check out a BBC article that we're in as well about the women. So we're trying to push it really heavily on the channel. It's not going to get 5k or 10k or 20k views, but that's not the reason why we do it. The reason why we do it is because of love that we have to broadcast both the men's and the women. So come on, it's only 12 quid a ticket. Get yourself down. It's just outside of Wigan in Lee.
How away the lasses.
But yeah, it'd be a really good game to see where they're at actually, because they're flying in the league, looking at back-to-back promotions, which is a real distinct possibility. Obviously, I don't want to jinx things because there's a long way to go, but you're up against one of the best sides in the country. A lot of Lionesses in there as well. They get to play against the likes of Earps and Ella Toon.
Letitia as well.
It's going to be a real good test, and I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow. Yeah,
it's on the FA Player. It's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's on everything.
Just to say as well, Joe's right next to the FA Player.
Yeah,
the FA camera. Sorry.
We'll hear him. We'll definitely hear him. Just again, the women playing next week. Newcastle, obviously, men's team. Don't get yourself along to Kingston Park. It's a huge game. Newcastle home to Nottingham Forest on the 21st of January, which is a Sunday 2:00 kick-off. They're third in the league at this moment in time. Lee did a vlog for the game at the City Ground where it finished 1-0 to Newcastle in the international break. It is a huge game and one of the biggest tests that Becky Langley's side has left before now to the end of the season.
Charlie should have the last word.
Yeah, Charlie, who was man of the match today for Newcastle?
Probably like Anthony Gordon, because he scored a goal and he was like doing amazing down the wing.
Do you know what it is? He speaks better than his dad, doesn't he? Speaks
You're
better sense.
Better sense than your dad. You talk more sense. I reckon, Charlie, you know more FIFA players than your dad.
Oh, easily. That's a given, isn't it?
Well, man of the match was Anthony Gordon. I'm sure you all agree with that decision by Charlie as well.
And if you don't, you're bullying a child. So
agree.
Well, Charlie and Sam are going to get a McDonald's. Lee's going to go and drive to Wigan or Salford or wherever he's going.
I'm going to edit this video.
And I'm going to go home. All the best to the lasses. Unlucky the lads. Fulham in 2 weeks' time. We'll see you there.